Welcome y'all to the Reality or Not podcast. We in tune with your boy DJ Reality, and we got my cousin, one of my great friends, Brian Clincy. Nothing new under the sun. Founder. How you doing, Brian?
Hey man, I'm blessed and impressed with the life that God gave me.
Okay,
What about yourself?
I'm
What
good,
what the
man. I'm
t-shirt
hot,
say?
nigga. I'm hot as shit. But if this world was mine, from
Oh,
the
okay.
Kendrick concert and shit. Um,
Roman numeral number
yeah,
9.
nigga, hot as shit in here. Ain't no central air, but otherwise we go we go get it in. I'm like sitting up here trying to stay still so the sweat don't trickle down my stomach and shit. But other than that, man, I'm doing pretty good, man.
Now, when
So
you sweat, you burn the calories.
and look, it's still uncomfortable. I'd rather be sweating outside in the sun than sweating inside in the house.
All right. Well then let's go ahead and jump into it to get you out the hot box.
So yes, sir. I'm like, God damn, it's hot up in here. Like no central air, no nothing. It's a AC sitting over here. But I'm like, man, I gotta plug that up. I gotta put the thing in the window and all that. Like, I ain't got no time for all that.
Yeah. Yeah. And like it's supposed to be 10 degrees cooler than it was yesterday
Okay.
there today. So it's supposed to be like 80s, like 81 or something. Well, might even be 70s.
Well, shit. I gotta see what the temperature is because goddamn, I mean, it's probably hotter in here than it is outside and shit. But but it's hot enough. Well, it's like 71. Ain't too
Yeah.
bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
ain't too bad.
Yo,
But
we
but it's
about to
probably
be in the
about
regular
85 in
breeze.
here.
Yeah.
So
Yo, so Sean, let me before we jump into everything,
mm,
like Elon Musk and Donald Trump is mixing words, right? We've all had our mix of words before. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Like, what is different when you beefing with your friend? Or maybe do you think they really was friends? Or do you think like this is just a publicity stunt for
It's
both of
about
them to
money.
get more clicks?
It's about money. If we could get money together, you my friend, publicly. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think it came down to with them too. I mean, it's just one once Musk realized like, hey, cause shit, I think I told you I was thinking about getting a Tesla. Like once Trump realized that, or Trump Musk realized that the value of his brand was gonna go down. He kind of like started backing away, and they were saying that the Tesla model or the Tesla car is at it not at its lowest, but it was dropping as far as the stock and all that stuff. So, I think, like I said, I think it was really just for the exposure to for them to make money together. But as I said, he's losing money. So of course it's going to be like, hey, I'm gonna back out. I'm not with I'm out of here, and I'll go back to focusing on my stuff because what
Yeah.
do you have the game to be associated at this point? So
Yeah, but I mean, he made himself a great scapegoat. Like he didn't, like Musk always makes these big promises and under delivers, but people thinks that he's awesome. But just the bravado between these two, like I'm like, and like man, we had our spat before where we like, but do it get personal? Like it personal, and then does the personal? Okay, so I know beefs create revenue, right?
yeah. I
Uh,
mean, but look at it like this, right? Everybody that's been associated to Trump, they benefited until they didn't benefit, right? So you're talking Musk, you're talking Kanye, you talk like all of these narcissistic type of individuals. They're taking advantage of the opportunity to be associated, whether you're pulling in a different market, within the red community with Trump, and it's like you look at, I mean, you had Kanye damn near, I mean, not damn near, but niggas wearing a black
I know you like
KKK
a
outfit.
dad.
Yeah, it's like, bro, like I mean, I get you standing on business, but I mean, like now you're just kind of like out here for clicks, um, But I don't know. It's interesting what's going on, within the political scene right now.
Okay.
But what's your take on it?
My take is all about the money. I think he realized that this bill is going to cut him out more money than it's going to add him in. Like it takes like I'm a solar guy. I'm a green guy. I think that this bill that's going through his new, and like I want to be one of the beneficiaries of his bill because I think companies and people with high value will be. I think anybody who's making over $200,000 a year will
Hmm.
benefit from this bill more because they'll have less tax liability.
Hmm.
But there is cost associated with it. that I think that we like. Yeah, I think the whole war of words is like Trump loves to get. I'm gonna call him attention whore, just like I call Kanye attention whore. I don't even
They're
usually say
all
Ye name.
narcissistic and on us in the same lane.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I was like, I don't even. I both don't. I usually don't say both of their name. Like when I speak on it, I'll be like that dude or whatever
Mhm.
because I don't want to be associated with even. And like I am a Trump hater. So if anybody listens to this, I don't like the dude. The dude is to me. You can't be a businessman, but always cutting your backhand on a business deal. If we make a deal and you say, "Bet this is what the deal is," I feel like if you change the deal at the end of the deal because you just want to make some more money, I feel like that's some whole shit.
Yeah,
So
but on that though, I feel like some people use that as like using his leverage to do that stuff. And sometimes businesses kind of like not just with Trump, but businesses in general tend to do that based off of what they have, their leverage. But
yeah,
I don't,
yeah, but it's crazy how tech has bowed down to this dude. Like Jeff Bezos hating him at first, and then Mark Zuckerberg, and now they just all on the tit. Like that's crazy to me because if I'm a man and I say I don't like you, I don't like you. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like
but
now,
if I'm a man and say I don't like you, then you be like, okay, let me try to put some tariffs on your shit where it's going to impact probably about a good 30 to 40% of your business. You be like, hey, look, maybe maybe I need to talk to him and see if I can work something out.
but now I'm looking at my business practices like maybe this ain't the lane I stay in. You know what I'm saying? When this dude got that much effect on my growth, and I'm gonna tell you, like I hate Trump, but I appreciate that he is affecting regular niggas.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I have never seen so many people, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Mhm.
I'm sorry,
No, I'm with it.
like like when I've lost many of jobs or whatever, right? But
Mhm.
when people have worked for the federal government for 20 years and then they're like, yo, I don't have a job, like this ain't cool. That is so funny to me because I'm like, yo, we got to do what it takes to make it roll. And like I'm gonna tell you, Trump has jacked up my life like on my three different ways I'm getting money, right?
Mhm.
Like my stock market, my Bitcoin, and
Mhm.
and the job situation. I had worked for a federal agency. So like, you
The
know,
tricky part with the federal thing, right? I mean, I know quite a few people that were impacted by it.
yeah,
Like I said, it's a gift and a curse of that because, I mean, of course, um, they were impacted, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of people were. I want to say a lot, but there were people that were comfortable just because they were in a federal job versus like it was people felt more. And don't get me wrong, I think you should have some stability within your career, but it made people think twice to like, okay, well, Trump's over here doing this. Now I got to figure out something different because I was impacted, versus like you looking at everybody else that was impacted by the, recession or depression and things like that. And you're just looking at it like, well, I'm federal, so
yeah.
I'm
Life
always
goes
gonna have
on.
a job
You know
type
what
of
I'm saying?
deal. And it's like that's not the case anymore. So I mean, you're out here like we're out here. It's almost like even people when they were voting for Trump, the people that was impacted that that voted for him, but yet he's deporting you now. It's like, well, I mean, is it right? Is it wrong? I mean, you voted for him, so
All of it is right because he won. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
like, he get to do. I ain't no sore loser. You get to do
Mhm,
whatever you say you was gonna do. You won. You got it. I
mhm.
didn't think you could execute like this, but the dude
No,
said,
Trump. I'm not a fan of Trump, but I'm a fan of how he's able to get things done. Like if he says this is going to get done, it gets done. You could say that about, you can't really say that about a lot of the presidents that we had in the past. Like that dude really, if he says, "Hey, look, I think I told you about my student loans, man." And like he was like, "Well, yeah, you're gonna have to start paying those." I'm like, all right, well, let me start looking into some programs now, before my check starts getting garnished. Just because I know that it's coming down the line. I'm not going to be the one to be like, man, my check got garnished. Like, nah,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm
But see,
already bracing
Being
myself to make
proactive
sure my
versus reactive,
money is
right?
together and
Yeah.
everything's together before that even happens, you know.
But again, that's being proactive instead of reactive. And I'm like, I'm gonna jump into some of the other topics. Like my mama always told me, don't count money that ain't in your hand. And
Mhm.
like
That's some
we
old
talked
shit.
about these sayings and stuff, right? That's
That's
the
old
saying
that's some old
I
people
live by,
shit.
huh?
I said that's some old people shit.
Oh yeah, don't count money that ain't in your hand. Like that's
Don't
worse
step on
than
the cracker to break your mama's back.
right, right. But the merit is, and I have to live by this. Like I can't, man, my feelings was hurt back in I want to say April. Yeah, I went April. I had a contract with this company, and like it was about to start coming in. I think the development work that we was going, we was making $10,000 a month, right?
Mhm.
Uh, they sent me 2 days later. Some tariffs or something happened or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And so like something happened in the market. They lost market capital too, but like something happened, and then it was like, yo, we're gonna have to go in a different direction.
Yeah, we got to pause this, or we gotta look at this 6 months down the line or 3 months, however,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
your
we got to
time
push
frame
this out. Yeah, that's what it was. He was like, we're gonna push this out, right?
is. Mhm.
So with that said, I was like,
It messes up the money.
yeah, dog,
And you
because
was
I had
expecting it.
already,
You signed it. You was ready to go. You
yeah,
was ready to
yeah,
borrow. Look, I don't like to borrow money from people that say, "Hey, I got you on my next check." That's some bullshit. Like, you may not have the next check, or you might get that check and you got to use that money for something else. Just let me know when you go give me my money.
right.
I want money on your next check.
The other saying is, as long as I owe you enough to be broke, that's somebody who ain't trying to pay you.
That's some whack ass shit to say. It's like
These are all things that I remember being told. Like as long as I owe you enough to be broke,
I
right?
want to
Because
hear
like,
that shit.
yeah,
I want you to not owe me.
but you know what?
So I'm never broke. It's like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, and
Oh,
what's crazy about that is like like now I've been asking people about my money, right?
mhm.
And like people like, yo, you really want this shit, right? Yes, I really want because like I used to be like, yo, if I gotta ask you more than twice, I'm begging, right?
Well, I
I
gotta
feel
ask
like
you
I'm
about.
begging.
Well, I gotta ask you about like my guy. It was funny. I was talking to him. This is like this past week. You know, he was like I said, I didn't not necessarily I wrote it off as far as him not gonna pay me back, but I mean I know he gonna pay me back. But you know, like I was telling him how I was coming into town, like into the shy. He was like, "Oh man, I got something for you." I was like, "Nigga, I ain't, like don't stress yourself. Like I ain't I'm not texting you to get the money from you. I'm just texting you, letting you know I'm gonna be here. Like I didn't know, not necessarily. Like I said, I ain't wrote it off. I just know that you probably ain't in the best position to give it to me right now. So I'm just telling you, I'm coming to town. Let's kick it. You know, but it's just funny that people automatically go to the, like if they owe you some money, they be like, oh shoot, I got that. I was like, nah, man, like just let if you say, hey, look, I got your money on August 23rd. I'm hitting you up on August 16th to be like, yo, we still good for August 23rd, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and that's all I really be wanting to know, so I can see how I sit, right?
yeah,
Because what and
that 250 I let them use. I don't like not that I can't use it, but I'm not gonna stress him out on that. I know he ain't got it now. If this nigga taking trips and I see him in a bottle in the club with the bottles like this, then yeah, I mean I got a problem. But other than that, no, I mean, as long as you ain't stunting on me, I'm good. So
oh, that's what's up. That's a. I just tell people I'm paying people off because like paying people not to talk to me, right? Because when people owe you money, they try to avoid you. Like you said, you call them and they're like, "Hey, oh yeah, I'm a holler at you." Yeah, no, whatever.
look, I had to stop
Like,
that. I had to stop that with my mom. Like, I was like, I wanted to eliminate the relationship from being transactional. I'm like, nah, I don't need that. Nah, I'm good. I'll figure it out. Just because I know that, when it gets to the transactional part, it's almost not necessarily like where my money at or anything like that. But I just know that I want relationships to be more than just transactional. I want them to be budding relationships. Like, I mean, if I hit you, I'm not hitting you. I'm not calling you to be like, yo, with my money. I'm calling you to be like, yo, what's up? You good? How's everything going? I'd rather have that kind of energy towards somebody than trying to, figure out what my money is at. Like, nah, just send
man,
me where you got my money. We
that's
figure it out.
that's kind of twofold because like I am hitting you up. Like I want to be nice. I want to hit people up just to say what's going on. But
Mhm.
at the same time, like I was just in Muskegon and I found myself doing the same thing I tell people. Like I'm like, man, I gotta
This
get
nigga
this
walking around
building.
with a book, like, check, check.
No, man, you talk to somebody and it's all bad news, right? You're like, man, I
I
get
can't
up here, I
I
got this building permit, and this they took me through the ringer, and I hate starting with negativity, dog. Like, man, I'm up here doing my thing, trying to
like,
get
if
my
you
bit.
always got issues, then it's you. That's how I look at it, like, we all got, like I told you, like, my back and my shoulder killing me and this, da, da, da. Like, these are things I can't fix. But, like, if I always need to borrow $20, then something's wrong with me. I need to figure out how to get $100 so I ain't got to borrow $20 from somebody, right? Like,
But that's being again. So this is what I really want to hammer on to this point. That's
mhm,
being instead of being like because I see it all the time. People being reactive. Like, oh, I don't have the money. Where am I get it?
mhm,
Nigga, you see it coming. Be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Like, or figure a way out. Or like, I've never understood how people need how people get their lights turned off. You know what I'm saying? You need the money. You know they will turn it off.
mhm.
Like you just gonna let it hit you?
Listen, look, I was talking to Alice about this yesterday, and we were talking about how uh people not taking care of specific. I ain't gonna say the other people that's a part of it, but like people not um taking care of certain things within the like having a car or having a place to live. Like those are always gonna be number one, number two for me. Like I'm always gonna have a car because I need a car. Like if I got to drive to my job, so and I need to get to my job to make money. So if I lose my car, then I can't get to my job to make money. So now I'm screwed to be able to get a car, or I'm screwed to be able to pay for my home or rent or whatever. So it's just like the bare necessities should always be taken care of. You should always have some food. You should always have a phone. Like I don't understand how, people can have their phone on do not disturb but don't have no job. It's like like what are you just not not answering the phone when these like and then too it's a mindset like are you even applying, for jobs if your phone is like, turned off and stuff like that. Like, oh shoot, I forgot to charge my phone. I just put it on the charger at 2 p.m. It's like like so from 9 to 2, you just wasn't talking to nobody and you wasn't working. What the were you sleep? Were you I don't know. What like I said, I don't have to fully understand what people got going on because it just doesn't matter to me anymore. But at the same time, it's like, wait a minute, your phone died at 11 a.m. and you're at home? Like why why's your phone dying? And the plug is probably right there or whatever. It's like, sometimes people logic doesn't
They ain't
make
got no charger. The iPhone people are notorious for stealing people charger. And you be
dude, you
like,
at home. You should have a landline charger. Like you should always have something. Like there's no reason why you should not be at home and your phone isn't available to you at all. Like I mean, you could forget the charger, you might lose it or something like that.
no,
But other
there's
than
really
that,
people that don't want to talk to. I mean, like you honestly don't want to talk to somebody. Like, okay, so sure,
but then how do you not talk to somebody if you want a job? How do you not talk to somebody if you want these things? And like that's just weird to me. Like I said, not
Well,
necessarily,
it's the same. It's the same. I feel the same way about people that just apply online for jobs and don't do nothing different. Ain't getting no calls, ain't getting nothing, and they don't do anything different. They just keep applying. I'm like, God
That's
damn.
no ideas original though. That's just them like just trying to, say I did this just for the sake of doing this. It's like, did you reach out to them? Like I said, I can't speak for everybody's situation because honestly, most of the time now where I'm at within my career, I get hit up like from recruiters and stuff like that. Like, hey, what do you think about this job? What do you think about this job? And I'm still applying, you know, to these different companies and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like I wouldn't just apply to them and not think that I don't have a chance. So when you saying apply online, I don't know. Some
Yeah, I mean, I guess it works for certain people, but like you got to try something different. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again
no,
and
I
expecting
agree with you.
different results.
Yeah,
That is the definition of insanity.
yeah.
So I'm like, yo, did you change your resume? Do you have a resume? What's on your resume? Like, yeah, just
I
change.
literally changed my like if I don't get no responses within like 2 to 3 weeks, just from all of the ones I submitted within that time frame, I'm like, okay, let me add this. So let me take from the rec that they provided and plug that right in, and then just make it. I mean, because most of the time I just be, not to say I'm missing things, but I just don't have all of those intimate details on my resume. I have done some of those things, but some people just, like I said, I mean, like you said, definition of insanity, where they just keep doing it over and over again, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, it's,
But then
oh
again, like what I one of the topics is if you're not progressing, you're regressing, right? It's
right.
like, well, how are you making yourself better? Like, what do you do on a daily basis to make yourself better? Like for me, I'm like, well, let me, look into this. Let me try to figure out this. Let me, even if it's something as simple as cultivating relationships and stuff like that, because I know that I could be a very isolated person where I'm like, okay, well, let me go ahead and call and reach out, blah blah blah. Let me, do this because I normally wouldn't do this, but how am I, making myself better, from a just as a person, you know.
Well, I think that's the overall goal, right? So to me, and I don't know, to me, like I said, every day I'm gonna be a better version of myself, right? How
Yeah.
how do I become that, right? And
Mhm,
so I asked, like I even asked my daughter, I was like, every day you trying to be a better version of you, right?
mhm.
So what did you learn today that you can apply, or what did you learn yesterday that you can apply to be a better version of you? Hey, I'm eating earlier so I don't fall asleep with food on my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Or
It's
like
simple things.
I'm yeah,
I
it's
I went for a walk for 10 minutes instead of the walk that I've never taken. Or
right.
or I'm gonna eat a salad today instead of, eating fried
Chips.
chicken or something like that, or
Yeah,
chips or something
yeah,
like that. It's like, well, like you always have to constantly evolve. Like I feel like a lot of people get stuck in what they used to be able to do versus like what they could do now. Like I know, I mean, bro, like I used to hoop probably about a good 3 or 4 times a week and never get tired. Like if I try to go hoop now, I mean, I could still I mean, I'll probably be pulling more jump shots than anything, but and I'm definitely not going to the hole because people be hacking. But I'm just saying in general, like I know that I can't do the things that I was able to do before at the rate that I was doing them at. So it's like, well, try something different. Just like with eating, like I know that I can't eat a bag of Doritos and Mountain Dew on a daily basis and not, be impacted by that. Like shoot, 20s and in high school, junior high, like I could do that and that shit would just burn right off. Um,
yeah.
but it's
Well,
just sometimes people get stuck in that. Oh well, I mean, not even trying to capture what they did in the past. They just don't look to how they can evolve to move forward.
and then so even looking at that, right? So now I look at my things like Top Golf is one of the things that I like to do. Joined the league, met some really interesting people, met some really
They have
if,
leagues.
huh? Yeah,
They
they
have,
have leagues.
I
Yeah.
know that.
But Shante, if you do a league and you do it on they call it as agent league because like I don't know nobody who was gonna do a Top Golf league with me. So I
Mhm,
got in a pool and they made the team, right?
mhm,
If you do it, be serious about everything. That I just was doing it to play Top Golf a little bit. The first time I did, I just did it to play Top Golf a little bit more. Like, yeah, I'm
mhm.
gonna work on this because, like,
But that's
as you
progressive.
get older,
Like,
your
that's
sports
progressive, and
change,
you're
right?
learning. You're learning something from that, even if like you only know what you know, right? Like remember we remember we went to Virginia and or the ramen place, and you were just like, man, I don't want to eat no Maruchan or whatever ramen. I was like, no, this ain't that. But if you had never went to the place to see it, then you'd have still thought like, oh man, they ain't eating that dollar ramen. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, no, it's a whole different like
Uh,
that's why learning, like trying things and learning things, and like I said, some things could be great for you, some things could be terrible for you, but at least you saw it and you didn't you know, just are automatically discounted just because of, I don't know, stereotypes, or the way that you thought it would be.
But again, it's getting out of your not getting out of your comfort zone, but getting out of your environment. Like we were born and raised in Muskegon, Michigan. You had the opportunity to go to Texas and live a year in Texas, so
Mhm.
that was different for
Yep.
you. But like I fully believe that if you don't, if because what you think your world is centered around, it's not. It's so many other things, and there's so many things in this world that's moving that that stuff don't even really matter. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
Like,
look, Texas opened my eyes to it being a bigger world, whereas Mississippi made it a smaller world. um, but I witnessed both, and I'm like, well, shoot. I mean, there's more out here than just what's in front of you.
yeah, and see, like getting to Pittsburgh and like even like in Detroit, like I tell people about Detroit because like I didn't know. Well, for one, before I went to school in Flint and my boys took me to Detroit, I didn't know how black Detroit was, right? I
Mhm,
didn't know how many brick houses that they had in Detroit. And I'm looking, I'm like, yo. And to be on the side of like where we from, and it's mostly white people, and then you got your areas of black people, and being where everybody in the whole city was black, I was
mhm.
like, yo, where y'all white people at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, Atlanta is like, not to say it's a culture shock because we all know how black it is now based off of music and stuff, but like I remember going to Atlanta for the first time. It was maybe around like 2003 or 2004, and I probably should have. Now I'll tell this story in a second. But I probably should have went before that, and that's just because it would have been a free trip. But anyway, ended up going around 2003, 2004, and at that point in time, Atlanta was kind of in, like, Outkast is my favorite group, so it wasn't like I wasn't as familiar with them, but I had never been there. So, and it was funny too. I remember talking to Greg about, no, take that back. I'd been to Atlanta before that because but I went as a kid. I didn't go as an adult. So I went to go see Greg type of stuff. Like,
or as a
yeah,
young
so
adult.
it was
Yeah.
literally go here, go here, go here, and then back to Muskegon or wherever I was at. But when I went as an adult, I was like, oh shoot, this is way, like this is, and mind you, this is the Big Meech, Jeezy, Lil Jon, Yin Yang Twins, uh Ti, Bone Crack, all these rappers, whatever. Like, this is in Atlanta is just like popping like that. So it's just like to go and just see a city that's like burgeoning in nothing but black. That shit was just amazing to me. Like I said, I mean, I didn't move down there till like maybe 20 years later, but it was an eye opener. Like, well, no, look, because at one point in time, like my whole plan was to move to New York, and then I was like, but because even when I went to New York, like New York was an eye opener. Like, it was a culture. It was literally, it wasn't like strictly black. It was a melting pot, and it showed me like, oh well, shoot, if you if you want to be gay, if you want to be white, you want to be black, you want to be Indian, you want to be whatever you want to be, like everybody is just
If you just
coexisting.
want to be weird, you can walk down the streets of New York and make money doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like they got a cowboy out there in his drawers.
Yeah, just and like you could be on your own niche and still, and like it was literally you being yourself, in whatever group you fit in, it worked for you. But it wasn't really like that, because not to say it was a small minded way of thinking, but it was kind of a small city way of thinking of, okay, this is, I mean, I remember, was it Smooth with the Roughness, the R&B group, and they was coming out of Muskegon. It was like, and they had the little song that was going up against Aisha or whatever, ABC. It was like, oh shoot, they do, they do it, but it was literally kind of, they were a smaller group, but they were trying to, in my opinion, take it a little bit higher than what the city had to offer for them. So, and I thought that was kind of dope.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I mean, I look at us and like so every city that I've been has opened my eyes and like and then this is one thing that I was like, look, like being in Florida and seeing how these subdivisions are created and like seeing how they getting money. It's these developers. These are property developers, real estate developers, or whatever you want to call them. But
Mm,
basically, they come in, get some land, sell a few pre-sales, and get some builders and start building houses, right? And
mm,
you're like, yo, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? These cats are making millions of dollars doing $1 million multi-million dollars doing
mm,
$1 million projects, right? And I'm
mm.
like, yo, I see the blueprint.
Yeah.
And then you create a HOA where you can suck more money away from these cats. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And but getting out of your environment and seeing what these other things do, and how other things work, and being attentive. Like, I don't know how people supposed to get better. I don't know how people supposed to progress, but I can tell you that I listen
mm-hmm.
more than I speak. Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out this dude. This dude said he worth $1 million, and like, I want to know, how'd you make your first million? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I gotta listen to it. I
Mm,
can't tell him what he doing wrong if I ain't made $1 million. And
mm,
I see a lot of people that do that really online. Like, oh man, yeah, he all he did was did that. I ain't never seen you I ain't never seen you drive anything newer than a 10-year-old car. You know what I'm saying?
mhm. Nah,
Eh,
I think sometimes people think that they know they can look at somebody's business from the outside and be like, oh, all he did was this, and this, rather than understanding like the effort and energy that that person put in it. I mean, I think that most businesses can be started without. I mean, I don't think it's difficult, but they did all of the due diligence to make sure that it was easy. You know,
Well, I
because it
will
goes
tell you
like
this.
property ownership. People think like, oh well, if I buy, it's almost like the field of dreams. If I build this, it would come. It's like, well, nah, that's like I was talking to China about this yesterday about she has a house and she was saying how, well, if I move, I just I just rent it. I was like, you know how hard it is to get some. I mean, not to, I wasn't trying to talk against what she was saying, but I was like, you know how hard it is to get somebody to rent your place, and then how hard it is to get good tenants. And then even the good tenants, quote unquote, they may be just starting a family. Like, oh, well, shoot. They may be trying to save their money to be able to buy a house. So then they're not going to be in your property that long. So it's not easy to be able to do that. Now, it's possible, I mean, if you have property and it's all about the area, the timing. Like, I mean, if somebody moves out of your house and say, for instance, you're in Michigan, somebody moves out of your house in December, most likely you're not going to get nobody to move back in there in January because it's too cold. So nobody's trying to move. So like you got the climate that takes its part. Like there's so many elements and nuances that you have to pay attention to that you just got to have. I feel like to do most of anything, you got to have the finances to support it. Like if you're like, oh man, I'm tired of eating scripts, let me start a pizza place. It's like, well, there are some diehard, and I used to be one of them. There are some diehard committals to Mr. Scripps, so
I'm still one. I still one. I
right,
think
right.
we
Yeah,
get.
so it's not like, so it almost is but not, I wouldn't even say within black folks. I think it's just a competition in general. But we tend to not want the competition to be at the same level. So as an example, you might say, well, Michael Jordan's great, LeBron is great. You'd be like, the first thing is almost like, well, LeBron didn't do da da da, or Jordan didn't do da da da. Like it's automatically a competition, and they're both great. So it's like it's even tougher, to start a business. Say, well, I'm going to compete against Mr. Scribbs, and Mr. Scribbs has been here for what shit as long as
75 years.
yeah, I'm gonna say at least the length of our existence, or but
Yeah, I think it's 75 years. I think it's like 1950 something.
yeah. So it's just crazy to think that now
But
you're
you know what, Sean?
hmm
And working in tech, this is what I find. When the easier you make stuff look, people think it's easy to do, right?
hmm
So it's like, oh yeah, I got on YouTube, learned how to make an app, right?
hmm
Yeah, cool, you did that. But can you learn how to make an app that make money? Can you learn how to make an app that you can that you can adjust?
hmm
Like, so, I got an app on the App Store, right? They make updates and changes, right? So now
You got
they
the
made a change where it broke my app.
yeah, was it you got to update and change at the same
Yeah,
time.
you got to update and change it. If
Mhm.
you just because you went on YouTube and followed their directions, don't mean that you know the intricate this new change, and it's a new change. So you it might not be in the documentation of that YouTube video that you was working with, right?
Yep.
So like what none of this is easy.
Mhm.
None of this is easy. But if you look at it like it's hard, you'll never do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
So
you. Yeah, I will say this. Like the one thing I find is like even if you if people look at it and think that you make it easy, people are like, oh, what he think he doing? Why he starting a pizza company? You know we eat scribs in Muskegon. We know we eat I don't know chicken coop in Muskegon. Why is he like? And then it becomes that. So it's like then you can have like the best pizza in the world, but just because of the way that you started the business, people are gonna not say shun you, but they're gonna literally be like, we don't mess with them. And then that becomes a reputation, and now your business is closed within like 6 months.
that's my problem with that's my problem with being back at home, right? Like
Mhm.
when I was back at home, didn't nobody want to pay me $20 to build a website. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, yo, this is what I do, but they'll pay somebody else because they're like, yo, he's in business, he's been in business. Dude, I've been in business longer than him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But because I'm homegrown and because nobody else has validated me to you.
mhm,
Now I go out of town, I make a whole lot more money
yeah.
than I would at home. You know what I'm saying?
But then it's like, well, why does he go out of town to do it? Why can't he do this at home?
Right. Yeah.
So,
It's a
it's
double whammy.
like you can't win. Like I was looking at I don't know if you remember when Ti so Ti one of the things he said that he wanted to do is buy a bunch of properties in Atlanta and to like to have not low income housing but just to have fair housing for people on the west side.
Yeah.
He was saying how he bought the property, did everything, then people were stealing out of the houses. People weren't paying rent. People like, and it was just like this dude like literally invested a lot of his money into it to make sure that you're straight, and y'all just kind of screw it up. It's like Ti could have easily kept his money, put it in some business, or talk to some financial advisors
He
and
pivoted,
over
and
here.
now he's doing that mixed use over there off of over there by what's I get Bankhead and Buckhead Bankhead, right? Yeah, over
Right.
there in that he
He's
doing that
probably
mixed use
he's from
community.
Bankhead. So, but
Yeah.
I would think he probably doing it. Well, like I said, he's from Bankhead.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
It's some property out there in Bankhead that he was doing the mixed use community that
Mhm.
they were saying, oh, he trying to upscale the neighborhood.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah. That's what he was doing. Yeah,
yeah,
that's yeah. That's
but
yep.
here's the problem: you don't want to downscale the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're doing stuff, and this, you lost your mic. All right, so understanding where you at and knowing where you're trying to get to. Like, and I'm gonna give it to you. Like, I'm gonna put a plug in for my new donut and coffee shop back at home. So I am working on a coffee and donut shop in Muskegon Heights. Right,
Mm-hmm.
it is something that I felt like would be nice in the location
Yo,
where
why
it
in the
is.
fuck you got donuts, nigga?
Well, see, man, and I'm not actually even making the donuts, but like,
No, I'm just saying like that's just how niggas be.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. But
why you
it's
making coffee? We got Big B. We got I don't know Dunkin'
yeah, we
Donuts.
got
I don't know. Just
you do have those options, and I'm not opposed to having those options at my coffee shop, but like I got location, right? And so like what the whole thing is, what the whole thing is, I'm bringing Jeff Bezos' idea to a coffee and donut shop, right? It's gonna be a nice chill location where I have screens and video games to open up after the coffee shop is closed, so we can run some maybe do some game tournaments or whatnot, like I used to do with Madden and 2K.
Mhm.
But the other ideal is that look, like the hub, like Jeff Bezos when he started Amazon and he did the book thing, I am creating a hub for small businesses in Muskegon, Michigan. So
Mhm.
we have all these people that do these plates and everything else. Well, you can order it on my website and pick it up at the building. You know what I'm saying? So that's the play on that. It is It is articulating what Black Wall Street is and adding that to the pitch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you make strawberry chocolate covered strawberries, like I see some of these people that be out here selling them. I love the hustle and I embrace that. You wholesale it to me, I'll put on my website, orders come through, you fulfill the orders and we good.
Mm-hmm. No, but it's like that. I was saying it from the standpoint of people don't.
The hater. Yeah.
Yeah, why is Brian starting this? Da da da. Like, well, why is he doing this? And it's just like sometimes it's like, nah, just let people. I mean, people be like, why you record a podcast? Why you DJ? Why you do da da da? Da. It's like, nah, these are the things that I want
Shantae.
to do. Yeah,
Shantae.
I'm not doing it to
Shantae.
impact you. So
Let them cook. Let them
yeah.
cook. What they say? Let them cook.
Mm-hmm.
Let them cook.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way I see it, and those are the type of people that you like. I have no problem with telling people because like that's why I had said it. You know what I'm saying?
No, no, listen, I'm go do whatever, like, and that's one thing. Like, some people have a heart. I feel like this what not necessarily separates us from other people, but like we just like fuck it, we go do it. Like it don't whether you like it or whether you don't. You could be like, why the fuck you recording a podcast or why you doing da da da? Because I want to, and I'm gonna keep going. Like some people just don't understand that if you want to do something just because they don't like it and you keep doing it, it's like, well, it's almost like you the op. It's like, no, I'm just doing what I want to do. It's just the idea in my opinion, is like the idea of agreeing to disagree. I don't have to. It's just like arguing. Like with I mean, just very this could be very offensive, but like somebody say, oh well, I don't give head. Be like, well, I like head, so I don't I don't have to fuck with you on that sense. That like, no, we agree to disagree. I ain't gotta like we can separate and you can do your own thing. Like, well, why does it always gotta be about head? It's like, no, it's not about that. It's just from you telling me that it's something that I enjoy. It's just like video games. It's like, well, you say, well, I don't
That's a
like
red
to.
flag. Video games is a red flag.
Yeah, it's like, well, shit. It's
I'm
no.
your red flag. Like,
I am okay with the red flag, and you just got to keep it moving. It's like everybody. Like, I'm not for everybody, and everybody's not for me. Like, and
and the other
that's
part
just
of
life.
that is like we not talking about it, we doing it, right? So
Mhm,
I listen to your podcast.
mhm.
Every time you do it better, right?
Yep.
Every time you saying, "Hey, look, let me be me." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
I love people that tell me like, "Yo, Brian, like I sold a house that I fixed up with my own hands." You know what I'm saying? And it was
Mhm,
like, "You'll never get that much money for a house like that in the Heights." I was like,
mhm.
"Look, don't worry about it." You know what I'm saying? Like,
What you
I got,
eat? Look, that's one of the lines. What you eat don't make me shit. It's just like,
right, 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 and then break that down for. I
yeah.
break that down, break because
It,
that
it
that
was
that's one of my favorite ones.
listen. I love it because it's too. It's a was a double entendre or whatever. It's just like literally what you because I mean we all take shits, right? But so what you eating ain't gonna make me go to the bathroom, but then at the same time, it's like what you eat or what you're doing doesn't impact how I'm, doing my thing. Like like you said, let them cook. I let you do what you're doing. I could do my thing, and it doesn't impact what I'm doing. And I tell people this all the time: you could do whatever you want as long as it don't cost me nothing. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's your idea. That's what you want to do. That's cool. But when you start to say, hey, Sean, you want to put your money in this, da da da. Now I have input. It's like, no, I need to know how I will get a ROI or a return on investment from this if I'm investing in it. But it's just always interesting when people think like, well, like I mean, and this would go to like something as simple as keto. Like, well, if I stick with or I mean with me sticking with keto, you don't have to do keto. You can eat whatever you want, but that doesn't impact me because I'm still going to do my thing. I'm not going to just be like, okay, well, let me just take keto off so I can go wherever you want to go eat. No, I'm just not going to go. Like I'm just not going to, or I'll find an option there that I can, take advantage of to make sure that I stay within the things that I want to do versus like me having to change. And I think it's a difference between like changing and adapting. It's like, no, I'm not going to fully change who I am, but I'll adapt to you as a person.
Well, see,
Like what got you is why I'm here.
I think you got change, adapting, and grow, right?
Mhm,
Growth, growth, it's changing, right?
mhm.
Adapting is, I feel like adapting is temporary, right? And I feel like growth is acknowledging that the change was good for you, right?
I would say adapting is temporary though. Adapting is more so like say for instance, if you're I'm trying to think of a good example. You say, hey, uh,
Code switching is adapting, right? So like if when we go to work and we have a different vernacular, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
We adapt at work and then we come back home and be like, fuck that shit, nigga.
But the thing is, you're adapting to. I mean, if you end up code switching for 20 years, then that adapting has become a change. Like that part is innate in you at that point in time. If you marry someone and you're like, well, uh, this person don't wash their drawers like enough. You be like, well, shoot, I got to figure out how to adapt to this person to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. As far as the things that I want to see within this relationship, then it's like
That's a wild adapt. I'm gonna watch the yeah, that's that's
it's a nasty,
crazy.
it's a
That
nasty adapt.
yeah, you know, yeah, that yeah,
I mean, but the
yeah.
thing is, I mean, you like that person 75 to 80%.
Nah,
So now you got to figure out that 20 to 25%. It's
nah.
but no, like but I'm saying like you adapting is like, well, since they ain't doing it, I'm going to do it for them. But you massage the conversation, be like, hey, look, I'm about to wash clothes. You got some clothes you want me to wash with, that I can throw in there with them. They got some clothes
I
to
mean
wash.
that's changing. That's saying, hey, we yeah. I think that's more growth. It's like, yo, I'm gonna do
Yeah,
this
that's
for
growth.
you.
Yeah,
So
that's growth too. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But
But
because
it's
I
growth on theirs. Well, it's a blinded growth. um,
it's
because
a workaround growth. It's like
they don't
you gonna
realize they're
understand
growing.
you gonna
But
understand the value of some clean ass panties. That's wild.
yeah,
Because I just think of somebody with pissy ass panties that
yeah, it was like, yo, like I mean the pads and stuff still in, like, come on, man, like, nah,
yeah, no, like, but I had to adapt and change. Like, I used to keep my drawers way too long. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought about, it, I was
I'm
like,
throwing away
nigga,
boxers as we speak. I'm trying to switch off from boxers to boxer briefs, and I have both, but I'm like, I definitely haven't bought no boxers in like maybe 3 or 4 years. So we talking 3 or 4 year boxers that but I don't. I have so how my mom buys stuff. I have so many of things as far as boxers, wife beaters, and stuff like that. Like I tend to not even. I'm at a point now. It's just so much excess of the stuff that I'm getting rid of it.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, that's a wild one. I don't know if that might be a deal breaker. Nigga, you say what? You don't wash wear the same panties 3 nights in a row, nigga? No, like
Listen, I look for say I wash clothes probably at least once a week. Um, so I mean, you can throw them in there, and
yeah, yeah.
it's like I'm saying at least. I'm saying sometimes 2 times. No more than 3. But yeah,
I don't
sometimes.
go nowhere enough to like. So it's most of the time once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. Because
I
like
mean, I'll be working out and stuff. So like I don't want the
the sweat
yeah,
bag
I don't
stuff.
want the sweaty
Yeah,
clothes sitting downstairs and that's starting to smell and stuff. So like I try to. I may not wash it like the next day, but most likely I'll end up throwing it in the washer. Like I'll end up like, well, shit,
well, see,
and
I got a rack
and
in
that's
my
nasty too if you ain't washing your sheets. If you so
yeah. Dog. That's what made me go into it because like you be like you can't be outside in your clothes all day and get in your bed. Yeah,
mhm.
it's the stuff
Listen,
that I grew up with that just be like that. Yeah, I
no,
still can't.
I'm learning more and more. So like being a kid was disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Like you be like at least for us being a kid, being outside all day, and then I mean I would have to take a bath, but it wasn't I didn't want to.
No, no, like I think so. as a kid, I remember only taking a bath once every other day or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 3 days at the longest.
Mm-hmm.
But like we had baths too. Like you had a shower back in the day, right?
Uh, we ended up getting a shower, but we had the tubs for I want to say at least probably like good. So I was about maybe 5 or 6.
Okay, because I
Uh,
remember I was like, dang, they just got a shower.
mhm.
Like,
I remember
because
having,
it was
but
like we
I would have
never
to take baths with my cousins and shit, which is nasty as fuck too. You know,
is it like y'all both dirty? You just get like yeah, no, I don't think
no,
that
look, that's another reason why Mississippi. I remember one time having to take a bath after Tina or Tap, one of the two had took
oh
one,
with the
and
same
it's
water.
yeah, like that's
Yeah, that's because you and see, and that's what I hate about taking a bath because you see the dirt off of that
yeah,
gray matter.
you're floating amongst filth.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
so right, and you're like, how can this clean me? Right, I gotta
mhm,
get in there and rinse this. Yeah, that's wild.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I still remember having to take the same bath with, and that's why I was like, okay,
see,
this is too rural for me.
I got two. I take two grandsons, and it's easy for me to put them in the shower together. Again, I'm
Mhm.
shower heavy now. Like I don't remember the last time I took a bath. I know that sounds terrible, but like,
Nah, nigga, you
yeah,
wash every day. I probably sometimes take 2 showers a day. It just depends on how hot it is.
oh
But
yeah, yeah,
but yeah, it just and I definitely end up taking at least one if I go to the gym and stuff like that. And I'm getting to the point I'm like you said this before, like I don't want to get in my bed dirty. So that part. So and you've been outside all day, like shoot, and I'm starting to know like, well, don't put my luggage on the bed because fuck, like that luggage has been bouncing
been
around
everywhere. They've been throwing that
TSA.
shit.
So, so what about the phrase God don't like ugly? What do you think of that?
Man, I love that phrase,
Mhm.
and the reason why I love that phrase is because like ugly is what you make it, right? So like
Mhm.
you can be a beautiful person with an ugly attitude. You know what I'm saying? And you really got problems with God. You know what I'm saying? Like really need to brush yourself. I understand that, and I love when people, God don't like ugly because it's like a karma thing, right?
Mhm.
When you being ugly to people, like you missing your blessings, and that's the way I take it, and I love that saying.
Now look at it. I look at it like this, not even just strictly with God, but just because most of the time it's in reference to me and how I feel
Yeah,
about somebody. But I was thinking about this, like how we watch shows or how we grew up as kids, and one thing I noticed is that like say for instance, I don't know, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, right? I'll say that show. Like Hillary was fine. Like she looked good, but she didn't look good to me because of how she acted.
yeah,
Or was Jasmine Guy from Different World.
yes,
Fine as hell, but just because the type of character that she didn't resonate with Cree Summers. Like she was very very ditzy. It's like I don't like like people that aren't like it was ways that they like even when they had Jasmine Guy in Harlem Nights. I had to try to see her a little bit differently because she was seen as a sex symbol. But then you have the chick that what's the chick that made the dude leave his family. Um
oh, sunshine,
yeah, Sunshine.
yeah,
She was propped up as, the sexy person. So it kind of like it drew me in. So it's like if and this is like I mean it's very what's the word? I guess I want to say visual, um but it's just like in life when you see people a certain way
hmm
and I remember one time I was in Chicago and I was at this Christmas party and this woman was like and I thought she was kind of cute, but I was like, well, I'll try to holler whatever. But and I'm talking to her, but it was like we all in a circle and or we all like sitting at the table at the Christmas party. And she was just like, well, I won't I wouldn't, if you're not taking me on a $300 first date, then why are we going on a date? And mind you, she was up here when before she said that, but she literally went down here, and then it became in my head like, well, why does she think like that? So then my questions, rather than even hollering at her, was like, why do you think that way? But she had already
You a
kind of,
bird.
yeah, like you had already kind of, taken
Yeah.
yourself out of contention for me to
Contention. Yeah.
even try to holler at you, just because of the way that you think. And the way that you think can make you ugly. Not being open minded, not necessarily you have to be an optimist or anything like that, like fully, but at the same time, you can't say things. Well, not to say you can't say, you can have your own standards or expectations, but to say, I won't explore this relationship unless you spend a lot of money on me, or you spend this amount of money on me in our first instance together, was mind blowing. You know,
Yeah. And she valid. She can do that. But
you can
when
do what you
when
want, but
when
you
you
just got to
missing
know
out,
what you're getting into.
on that great person because you got these expectations that are like, because he got three, now that might have been his last $300 that he had. You know what I'm saying? So
But are you counting, like, honestly, if I go to a restaurant and I'm out with somebody, um, I don't want them to be like, how much did this cost? How much did this cost? Because you're not paying for it. It has zero to do with your pockets. Don't worry about my pockets, because I feel like you pocket watching at that point in time. It's like, I mean, and I'm pretty not to say I'm pretty sure, but I'm thinking in my head visually with
yeah,
this
I want to
scenario
take you
that
somewhere I
that's just
can't
like,
afford it, right?
cool. He spent this, he spent, like, okay,
Yeah.
that's about 300. Good. Okay, cool. We he meets my expectations. Um, and that's not what's up. I mean, hell, you go on a date and damn near spend like if it's a coffee date, spend $20, or go on a regular day, you spend 50 or $100 or whatever,
Yeah.
and have a great time. You know what I'm saying? You telling me like a $300 day, and I'm like, damn, what do you have to do to even spend $300? Just that's not just at a regular dating place. It's like, I feel like 300 is damn near a steakhouse or something like that to be able to get to that point. But all I'm saying is, like, she showed her ugly to me at that moment. And I was just like, oh, okay, cool. I'm not even going to explore it. And people can say whatever they want about Kevin Samuels. I've always said that Kevin Samuels was saying the right things the wrong way. He just, he would say it very harshly where people were impacted by it. But I mean, because you'll see some
Okay.
of the
Let-
ugly things with some of the people that they, when they was, and I remember with Kevin Samuels, one of the things that the first thing that jumped them off was when he was talking to the 36-year-old woman with two kids, and she was like, yeah, I need to do this 6'5", no kids, and make over 100 figures. But she wasn't at 100 figures, and she wanted him with no kids, but she has two. And I was like,
yeah.
so.
But and see, like, I think I understand that too, because like people tell me, and I was like, yo, sometimes you got to tell people what it is, how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be direct and honest, because we all been that part. When you're in a relationship and you're trying to sugarcoat stuff, you're like, hey, maybe you shouldn't eat that.
Mm-hmm,
Like maybe, and you trying to sugarcoat, like, hey, you gaining weight or whatever, right?
mm-hmm.
Uh, but then they don't get it, right? And then they mad because you
Progressing
leave.
or regressing.
Yeah, and then they mad because you leave because you said you're not attracted to fat women. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Mm-hmm,
yo, I've been telling you this. You just refuse to do it. And
mm-hmm,
if I tell you what it's the best part of being single is telling people how the fuck you feel about them. You know what I'm saying? And not having to sugarcoat it. Like being like, look, damn it, you argue way too much. You
mm-hmm,
want me to work on myself, but I ain't seen you work on shit. You know what
mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you don't even recall what I asked you, what I tell you that bothers me about you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like six black, six black
Talking
or
about
whatever with
black
the
with it.
six.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he spells it six black, but yeah.
Yeah. This nigga had one of the coldest lines. She said she want to be great, but don't get out the bed before 8. I mean, don't get out the bed before. Like I was like, but sleeping until late in the next day, right? You say
Mm-hmm,
you want to be great, but you sleeping late into the next day,
mm-hmm.
dog. There is so many times where
I need to look.
the
I need to find that song. I like that line.
hey,
Um,
it's called Problems. Yeah,
okay,
it's
because I
Problems
mean,
off
no,
that
that's
first.
one of them. Like, I'm like, that's what I said. Like, what are you doing to make yourself better on a daily basis? You
Say you
know, and
want to save money and go out and buy steaks. That's another line that say, go out and eat steak. That's what he said on that same song.
mhm.
But again, some people don't get it. But being that when you single and you old like I am, you can be like, look, this is a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? Women not taking accountability, not so. I don't know if you ever been in a relationship where you told someone exactly what bothers you about them. Like,
Oh
yo,
yeah, like
you chew with your mouth
vocal.
open.
I'm very vocal in the sense that okay, if I say this, because I don't ever want anybody to, I don't want nobody to have to figure out why I'm mad. You know, I want them to understand that if okay, if I have a problem with this, okay, now you know I have a problem with this. So then it's not necessarily that you have to fix the problem, but just knowing or being aware of the problem. But like if I'm just mad and I'm not saying anything and you don't know why I'm mad, but I'm not talking, you know, sometimes like I've talked to women that think that we're supposed to be mind readers. So it's like that's not the case. I can't read your mind. That's why communication is always key. Like tell me how you feel about something, whether I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt or a cup of sugar. Like I just need to know how I just need the communication open for understanding and so then we can figure out the problem or we can figure out a solution. Because like I said, I don't like to stick on problems. Like I think
Yeah,
it
but
don't make it makes zero sense to have the same problem that you had.
don't like stick on problem. I avoid them. I'm a solution sir. But right. So
Yeah.
if I tell you I don't fuck with your family and you make something to do with your family, and when I told you I don't fuck and you want me to go,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm because I told you
But
you
I'm not gonna
understood.
go. You know,
No,
it's like
no, I'm gonna go just because I'm gonna let you know exactly why I don't fuck with your family.
if I
And
tell
then they're
you
gonna be like, dang, he acting funny. Yeah, I'm acting
if I
funny.
tell you I don't fuck with your family and you be like, "Hey, my family having this," I'm like, "Well, I mean, I catch up with you when you get back."
Yeah.
That I mean, that like the point, like this comes down to you know we've a couple conversations about this as far as protecting your peace. It's like, no, I don't want to ever be in like say for instance that example. I don't ever want to be in a space where um we're both uncomfortable based off of it's just like I tell
But
people
see, it's
as an example, I tell people I don't like Tyler Perry movies. And I really
yeah.
don't. So if you be like, hey, let's go to a Tyler Perry movie, I'm be like, I'm not going. You know, and I'm not going to go just because like if you already know I don't like it, then don't even ask me to go. So now if you even ask me to
So
go
you
and
piss
I
me off.
go, then
Yeah,
now I
yeah,
have a problem with you while I'm at that movie. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So it's a nine, you
But
know, it's
see, I think of the adding up factor, right? So I agree with you, right? So
mhm.
I tell you that I don't mess with your family. We go, and then you find the reason why, because now you got to deal with the problems on both sides. Because now, well, maybe we get into a little argument, maybe we get into a spat, maybe I tell you you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You knew what it was before we went, and you brought this into my environment, right? You signed me up for some stuff I didn't want to do, and so now I'm gonna show you that this stuff don't work because I don't like him, I don't like them, so I'm definitely gonna treat him like I don't like him. There's nothing.
Now look at it like this. You just said a great thing or a great point is about the arguing thing, right? The arguing thing is more than likely going to happen on something that you don't want to do versus your peace. You know, so if you say, hey, well, within the scenario, within the family, you know, situation, you're most likely going to get into an argument because something is going to trigger the things that you don't like about that those interactions. And a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people feel like you have to compromise for certain, and I feel like you do have to compromise for certain things. But then again, there's certain things that like I feel like I am able to compromise on a lot, and you may not even identify the things that I'm compromising on. But when I tell you that I'm not doing something or I don't like it, I like I done it done ran through my head. within
It's a
different
line that
scenarios.
you
Like
didn't.
it's
It's a
literally,
line that you didn't
I'm
create it.
not
Yeah.
doing that. So,
Yes.
so
And now since you put me in a position, and when you say compromise, I tell people this all the time. I got hot grease. Compromise is not throwing water in the hot grease.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's a
That's
crazy, that's a
that's not
crazy thought.
compromise. So if you want compromise, you throw some chicken in there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
And then that's a compromise. But if I tell you that it's a red line and this is throwing water in grease,
mhm,
we popping.
yeah. I mean, but can you? It's just so crazy when
But a lot of people
you
don't
you
know
know.
their triggers. A lot
Yeah,
of
I
people
mean,
don't
but the
know their
thing is,
triggers.
it's like, say for instance, if you say Brian says, "Hey, I don't, I don't eat chitlins," right? And I'm like, "Oh man, just eat a little bit. They ain't gonna be that bad. You'll be all right." Nah, I don't eat chitlins, but they taste good. You put some hot sauce on them. My mama eat them. My mama made them. Now you're getting upset because I done told you that I don't eat chitlins. And now, I mean, but now you're asking me again. And then you like, well, no, I mean, then you still kind of pass it off like, no, I'm good. I don't want any.
Like you
But then somebody
shouldn't.
asks you, but you know, like I mean, everybody's eating them. It's like, bitch, I don't eat fucking chitlin. Like now you.
Hey, and then let's put the shoe on the other foot. You
Mm,
said you don't like giving, you don't give head.
mhm.
So if I keep asking you for it, are you gonna be okay with it? If I'm just like, okay, you kissing my belly button and I kind of push your head down, does are you happy with me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
but
so,
man,
so you brought up a great point, and I always say this too within, like within with women and stuff like that, right? Is that cause I feel like sometimes women think like, okay, well, you only here for sexual encounter, da da da. And I've always felt like if I'm dating someone in that scenario, like, hey, as far as effort, it's like, hey, okay, we go do this, da da da. You be like, oh no, we ain't gonna do that right now. I'm like, okay, cool. For me personally, that ball is in your court at this point in time. I'm never going to try it again. I'm never going to be the one. If we're talking about the comfort level or asking somebody more than once, I'm not going to ask you something more than once. You say, hey, look, I don't want to, I don't want the kids to suck on my titties or whatever you want to do. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm never going to go for your titties ever again. I'm never going to try. Like
exactly.
the ball's in your court because those are things that you said that you don't like. It's just like with me. Like I say, hey, I don't like this. So then I wouldn't expect you to ask me ever again, do I like that? Like it hasn't changed, but so from a respect standpoint, if somebody says, hey, I'm not with that, then okay, cool. Well, I mean, it's not like I have to do those things. I mean, I like titties, but like I ain't got to suck on them like all the time, you know. But it's just interesting when people like when the ball is in their court, they don't expect you to keep. They don't expect you it becomes offensive to them if you come back
Well, I
at it.
think
But then when it's in my court, it's like, oh well, no,
I
it's
think
a
it's
little.
because they belittle what you think is a problem, right?
Mhm,
I said I don't drink.
mhm.
You look at it like
That's
it's
a
not
great
a big
point. Like,
deal.
oh, Brian, drink. I mean, you could do a shot with us.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
do da, da,
yeah.
da. It's like, no, I don't want a drink. I'm okay. I haven't, it's like, and this is my thing. Like, even with that, like, don't even like I know that you had never done it, but even if I hadn't had a drink in a year or two or 6 months or something like that, you don't know how I was impacted before I knew you. Like I could have been an alcoholic where I'm 6 weeks removed from I don't know uh killing somebody in a vehicular homicide.
Yeah.
Like you don't know where I was impacted by that. So just don't keep trying to egg me on to something that I say that I don't want to participate in.
And don't belittle it. Like it's not a big thing. Cause like
Mhm.
it's just because it's not a big thing to you, don't mean that it's not because they don't want that same thing. They don't want that same energy. And like that's why I said it with the head. Cause like you get women all the time that be like, don't do that to me, don't push me. Like, dude, I don't never want you to do something you don't want to do. Like, that's not my thing. Like shit. It's cool. I don't like mother had you, motherfuck you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to do nothing that you don't feel comfortable doing. Like you'll never get me on some puppy shit. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like
Yeah.
I like
Never.
it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you can't hear what I'm saying when I say I don't do this,
Mm-hmm.
I don't fuck with him, I don't like him, or like I don't like even if I say I don't like holding hands and you keep grabbing for my hands in public, I will tell you that you are pissing me off.
Yeah. And I, but the thing, sometimes it's levels to the shit, right?
Yeah.
And within the levels, people feel like it's here for them, it's here for you, or it's here for you and it's here for them. And it really depends on how, like, I feel like sometimes you have to, even if like it's here for them and it's here for you, you have to respect them enough that it's here for you and just
Oh,
and roll with it. Like you
exactly.
so
Exactly. Another example, right, Sean?
mm-hmm,
Like if you say I don't like saying I love you, I'd rather you feel love than me
mm-hmm,
having to say it, right?
mm-hmm,
Now, if you can't get to that level, if I tell you that and
mm-hmm.
you can't get to that level, you say, I just ask for the one thing. I just need my love is my love language is affirmation, right? My love language is affirmation. I just ask for one thing. I
I hate love languages.
I love them because I know them enough to
I
say
mean,
like,
look, I feel like all of that stuff is just to put people in the box and say, I mean, I get it, but I feel like all that stuff is meant to put people in the box and say, okay, this is what, this is the type of person you are, and it's like, well, I feel like it's a mix. I mean, my fault for cutting you off, but I feel like
no,
it's
no.
literally, it's how you feel that day. Like, of course, you may not. I mean, I may not want to hold your hand, but then okay, well, shoot, let me hold your hand in this concert to get you through this motherfucking crowd so we can get to our car real quick. I don't know. It's just like it's little things like
Well,
that.
see, I look at love language as a communication tool, right?
Mhm,
So that's why I end up reading the book and start to vibe with it,
mhm,
because if I can use that as a tool to tell you how I feel or tell you or identify that, hey, you said that you're like I said, affirm. She needs affirmation. I
mhm,
can't give you that besides making trying to treat you the way that I say that you're doing it, right?
mhm,
Like that's where the conflict is, right?
mhm,
And if there is no if there is no glue between that, if I can't give, and like I tell people this all the time, I would say I'm 85% every of what every woman is looking for in a man. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
That 15% is is things that I've been traumatized, things that I just won't fucking do. You know what I'm saying?
But that
Like,
80-20 rule could damn near fuck you up though. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
because sometimes people focus on the 20 or 15% rather than what the 80-85% is worth.
right, right. And I think that if you willing to do that, then cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a laissez faire person. Love the way you love. Be with who you want to be with. And that's probably why I never got married, because I don't know if I could say, baby, please, why you won't leave me? Like, no, go be a better
I ain't
person.
begging for nothing. Like, don't get me wrong. I'll fight for for the relationship. But I'm not going. I tell people all the time,
Wait,
I'm not
wait.
going to convince you to like
Why'd
me.
you slow that down? I'll fight for the relationship.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to sit up here and like if you say you want to go, I'm not holding you. Now, if you're like, I'm not going to convince anyone that they should love me or they should be with me. Now,
But if you get married, ain't that the commitment that you making to God, that you're gonna do whatever it takes to keep this relationship going?
you're committing to a person that's as committed to the relationship as they are to you. Of course, it's never going to be 100% or like, I mean, 50-50, 30-70, 70-30, however it looks. But
Yeah.
if I'm married and somebody's like, I'm leaving, I feel like for me, and I'm thinking of it the way I view it, is that if I tell you I'm leaving, I went through every scenario in my head on staying. and I didn't match anything or nothing matched up for me to even consider staying in this relationship. So if you didn't do that, that's on you. But I can't sit up here and convince you to after you done said I'm leaving. Because I feel like I don't even understand. Like if I ever got married, I would probably never. I can't say never, but I'll probably never get divorced, just because I feel like I tell people all the time, like relationship. I mean, well, just communication in general. Like most things in life can be handled by a simple conversation. It's just what's the problem? How do we, like I said, solution oriented? How do we fix it rather than um this is unfixable and blah blah blah. I was like, well, if it's unfixable, then you made your decision.
Maybe
But
it's unfixable in that moment though, too, right? So maybe it's unfixable in that moment where you need some time to go ahead and pull yourself away. Because to me, like I said,
I
I ain't
you got to
holding
get out of
nobody
that.
hostage.
You got to
I ain't
get out
holding.
of that. You got to get out of the time. Like I remember, I used to try to be. It was like, oh well, give me some time to think about that. I mean, sometimes you do need to calm down and stuff like that. But at the same time, time, like time, in my opinion, ends up some. Well, they say time heals wounds and stuff like that. But time only allows for more things to come in
But
and
it allows you to
impact.
evaluate to say, dang, am I really looking forward to? Am I really ready to leave this person to? Okay, so when I think of time, I think like
85-15 is what you just said. If that person's 85-15 and the problem is the 15,
yeah,
then you can figure out the 15. The 85 is why you're there. So if somebody ever gets below that number or gets below your threshold, then yeah, I mean leave. But I mean, if there's more to benefit from being with the person as a relationship, then no, you should just. I mean, like you said, you might need some time, but
you might
at
need
the same
time and space. So I
time,
understand that because like time is it's a lot to do. So Shantae, dealing with your schedule and you adding somebody to it, right? You adding somebody to your schedule right now. You zoom to Chicago, Detroit, boom, and now somebody wants to be with you during that, right? So
mm-hmm,
now it's like, oh, I gotta reconsider this. And sometimes the time away says, dang, I don't really like being away from this person. I
hmm
wish this person was here. And yeah, I don't know how it's supposed to work, but I
hmm
just know that sometimes you need I think look at my dad, uh I look at my dad in that situation with him. He I guess he loved her to not ever want a divorce, but then they needed space in between them because they were friction. Did that work?
no. It's like I feel like I feel like if it's over, it's over. If we're not married, I mean, if we're not cohabitating or figuring it out together, like I mean that's the point of marriage to me. Like I don't
Man,
really see a reason to be separated from somebody, so unless it's for something like something
yeah,
that's
she got a job
way,
in DC. Maybe she got a
yeah,
job in
or
DC.
even kids, like you stand together for the kids type of stuff. But even
Yeah.
that part is like, nah, y'all just got to figure out how to co-parent, um, and go from there. Like I'm I'm not gonna be of the, hey, I've been married for 35 years, but I ain't been with the person in the past 25 years. Like, nah, that don't rock with me. Like, nah, it's time to move on. It's time to move to the next step. Um, and that's just kind of like, not that, I mean, I don't know. Like some people be having those types of relationships, but no, I always say, look, your relationship is between you and that person that you with. But I know for me personally, I couldn't do it. I'm like, why am I still married to this person in this?
Yeah.
And I don't even
Yeah.
I don't even like her that much anymore. It's like,
It's different situations for different people. And like you said, like being in that being in it, you know what's best for you. And so like that was what's best for him. Is that my model? I probably don't think so. But I know I will definitely have houses in multiple places, right?
mm-hmm,
So I know I might be so like I know I'm gonna buy a house in Vegas again.
mm-hmm,
So I might be at the house in Vegas and she be wherever. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
Like I don't feel like when you marry you got to be together step in stock or like you can't go somewhere with somebody else. Like I want to still be able to go on my man trips. You know what I'm saying?
But this is what I said with like the evolution of marriage and stuff like that. Like, is it really needed anymore? Is it an archaic thing to think about? And it's just like, does it really make sense? Like,
So
like I said, it's a business. Like, I mean, we talked
so
about
what?
this in the last podcast. So
Yeah, yeah. The last podcast legally. Do you want your mother to make the decision for you, or you want the woman that's been with you and living with you for that you express your desires and wants to make that decision? Like that's the whole marriage thing, right?
but that's the legal stuff. Like, I feel like, you know, the whole idea of what marriage is supposed to be is like you're supposed to love somebody in the face of God
That,
and in front of family. And it's
yeah.
like, I mean, I don't want a legal marriage. Um,
See, I wonder if I want more of a legal marriage than a spiritual marriage, right?
See, I'm
Because
totally the opposite. I'm like, I mean, I want both, overall, but I mean, the spiritual has way more of an impact for me. And I'm like, why am I with this person? Like, why, like, why is this even being considered?
because the
Um,
business deals feel sweet and the spiritual feels right,
yeah, yeah.
right?
I honestly, I feel like, you just got to find somebody that you like and, and be like, all right.
Well,
I,
do you find somebody you
I
like, or
want it
do
to
you
be
find
like,
somebody you can't live without, right?
I want it to be like Jagged Edge and shit. Like, we ain't getting no younger. We might as well do this. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, I guess that part of it, growing old with somebody could be cool, But like I said, I don't know if it's archaic or a way of thinking about it. But I mean, shoot,
Okay, so we on the
not to
next
say that it's
podcast we're
right.
gonna see how we update how the marriage scene needs to be updated. Like what upgrades would you give a marriage?
Okay, I'm with that.
Yeah, I got to get out of here.
Yeah,
I know you
same.
hiding
Yeah.
demon and we,
It was hiding
but
this bitch. And my watch telling me it's time to stand anyway.
all right, all
Cool, cool. All right, cuz. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you everybody for listening to the podcast. You had your boy DJ Reality and Brian Clincy from Nothing New Under the
right.
Sun.
Yeah,
Appreciate you jumping
yeah.
on. Let's figure out
Thank
the
you,
next
man. I
topic.
appreciate it. And if anybody got anything to say, go ahead. Say something in the comments.
Yeah,
I
like,
dare you. I
subscribe,
double dare you.
say
No.
all that shit. Double down on it.
Right, right. Because I know somebody like I'm not saying that you should move anybody's head to anything. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
if they say no means no,
Yeah.
get the freak
Yeah,
up.
you can't be out here with the freak offs.
Yeah, yeah, get the freak off. Forget the freak off, and just like be comfortable with the person you with.
Do the
Like
things you want to do.
yes, and express the things and communicate the things you don't want to do. If you
Exactly.
say no, respect the no. I like you said, you say no. We that's
Say no, I'll never ask you again.
yeah, I'll never do it again either. You
So
know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, like
that's the
no,
cold part about it.
hey, let's go da da da. But it's funny too, it's like, I mean, I know we about to drop, but you say, hey, let's go see this Marvel movie. You be like, well, I really don't like Marvel. Be like, okay.
I never ask you again.
But just
Why
know
you don't never ask me to go to the movies no more? Because you
that
don't.
next Marvel movie, I'm going to go see it.
But
So
see, and that's the part that plays. And like I was just talking to my boy, our conversations last a lifetime, not just the moment. So if you say you don't like Marvel movies, and those are the movies I go to the most, and you mad because I don't ask you to go to the movies no more, you can't be.
yeah, you can't, like, because you've accepted, like I told you with the Tyler Perry movies, like, as an example, I don't fuck with Tyler Perry like that. And you tell me, I mean, not that I'm against Tyler Perry. Like, it's just I don't like the way some of the movies and the plot lines go down, and I just haven't. I've tried, and I was like, I still don't like it. I mean, I'm talking about, like, I've done my due diligence and my investigation. I know that I only like Why Did I Get Married, and I don't like any of his other movies. But all that being said, it's like, if they be like, well, shoot, I'm gonna go see that Tyler Perry movie when it come out, I'm like, okay, go do it. Like, shit, hell, you can take another nigga if you want to. Like, shit, just as long as it ain't me. Shoot.
No, we are cousins because that's the way I feel about the shit too.
Yeah.
Have a
Take him so
because
you have a good time. Y'all
yeah,
both have a
have
good
a
time with the
like be. I want you to be so anybody with me. I want them to be the best version of themselves. Does
Mhm.
that mean doing something with other people to make you the best version? To like go ahead, be with that other person. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
I don't hold hostages.
Yep.
I- Like you with me because you want to be with me. You're not with me because I'm forcing you. You're not with me because you married and you had to. Like because I ain't never been
Yeah.
married, right?
I'm not holding you, and that's why I said, like, if you come to the conclusion that you're like, oh well, we got to get divorced, I'm like, or I got to leave, or blah blah blah. I'm like, go for it. Shoot, I'm not stopping you. So
Right. So
cool.
we gonna end that on that. Peace. He said,
Cool.
out.
All right,
See you.
y'all.
He said you
Peace.
getting off the phone call. Get off the goddamn phone call.
All right, good.
All right.